This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, good evening. This is Suresh here.
Hi Suresh.
Yeah. Good evening guys, good evening one and all. So guys, in our session today, the first point to be discussed is the HRIS sync as a concept. So in the employee centered implementation sequence of steps, the 14th step is the HRIS sync, this last one. So what does this HRIS sync do is basically to integrate the data from employee central into the other talent modules. So whenever you want to have the data from the employee central module synchronized with the other talent modules, that is whenever you hire an employee, so any data of an employee is going to be recorded in the employee central module. Okay, that might be core EC specific information or basic informations like employee education details, certifications, whatever you say, is everything coming into EC. So now for the talent modules to run, this users feed is required. So what are the users in the system? They need that feed. So such that even in the performance module, LMS module, wherever, we can run those modules based on these users. So for that push of data from uh, employee central to other module, we need this HRIS sync as a program that has to be scheduled in the background, gentlemen. Okay, just a moment. ఏ మెసేజ్ వస్తున్నాయి నార్మల్ పాత అన్నీ 15 days ago ఇగో పైన వస్తుంది 15 days ago 12 days ago ఫోన్ ఇందాక రీసెట్ చేశాడు కదా మళ్ళీ అన్ని రిఫ్రెష్ అవుతున్నట్టున్నాయి అన్ని పాత అన్ని రకాల డిఫరెంట్ మెసేజ్ జనరల్ మెసేజ్లు అన్ని
ఒకసారి పైకి అయిపోయింది మళ్ళీ వస్తున్నాను
నువ్వు పేమెంట్ లింక్ ఆయన పంపించాడు అన్నాడు ఇందాక పేమెంట్ లింక్ ఏదో పంపించాను అన్నాడు sorry guys, sorry for the pause. Okay, so this HRIS sync is a program that will basically help us to synchronize the data from employee central to talent modules. So for that thing to happen, there is a standard success factors program pre-built delivered in the provisioning side. So the other day when we logged into the provisioning for scheduling one job for what do you say, this alerts and notification. For the alerts and notifications to trigger, we actually use this background job called EC alerts and notifications. We scheduled it to run it every day or every weekly, like that. Similar way, this program called HRIS sync, human resource information sync, that is the employee data that has to be synchronized with the talent modules internally within SuccessFactors. So this program will be doing that job. We just have to schedule it in the background, so either at least once in a day or 2 to 3 times in a day. Okay, it's up to the customer. We can keep it up and running in the program, so that every day in the background system will keep on running. So the advantage is whenever there is a new employee hired in employee central, that will be synchronized into the talent modules data. And in the existing employees, if there is any termination, that termination also will be communicated with the talent modules. And similarly, any changes on the existing employees you are doing, it's you are not terminating, you are just changing the designation of the employee, you are changing the reporting manager in employee central, HR in the employee central, all these relationships you are changing, everything will be communicated with the talent modules. So everyday employee central data changes, hire, promotions, transfers, reporting relationship changes, termination, everything will be communicated with the talent modules. Okay, so for that, let me just open one document. Just a second. Yeah, so as you see on this presentation, guys, On the right hand side, what we have is the employee central profile with multiple portlets. Just the personal information portlet is highlighted, but consider the right side one as the complete employee central employee profile with all the portlets, the personal information, job information, comp information, all that. From that various portlets of information, HRIS sync is the program that will pick the minimum required mandatory fields for the talent modules. So for goals, compensation, recruiting, any modules. So the mini master information, what is required for that talent modules to run. So that information is extracted from various portlets of Employee Central, and that is going to be served into these talent solutions. The minimum basic information: employee username, first name, last name, job title, manager, HR, email address, all these basic things. So that will be picked up from here and pushed for the talent modules. That is the basic understanding. But technically speaking, what is this information? What is this mini master information? Is nothing but initial days when we discussed about loading of users into SuccessFactors system in a non-EC system. Into the SuccessFactors, if you are not using SuccessFactors Employee Central module for the talent modules to run, we just require the mini master data information is what we discussed. Using the UDF file, we used to load the mini master information. That is this file, this mini master information with user ID, username, first name, middle name, last name, title, all these basic fields. So that HRIS sync program is nothing but doing this job. Whenever you hire an employee in Employee Central and fill a lot of portlets, so from all that portlets, in this file, whatever are the fields required, it will extract all the fields of information. This user ID and username will be brought up from the biographical information portlet. First name, nickname, middle name, last name, all this from the personal information portlet. Job title, the latest current as on date job title from the job information portlet. Gender, again personal information portlet. Email address from email portlet. Manager and HR from job relationships. Department, location, time zone, everything from job information. And you have phone number from phone information portlet, address details from address portlet, like this. So what all basic fields you have in this basic import are nothing but they are extracted from various different portlets of Employee Central, and this file is created in when you are having Employee Central module. And this, once this file is created with all these users, with all these fields, this becomes the source for the talent modules. Talent modules will refer to the employees who are active, who are inactive, which employee, who is the manager, who is the HR, anything. These talent modules can read only from the UDF file. So it's not a direct communication between the modules. It happens via this basic import file, which we call as a simple profile fields, basic profile fields. These are all. So this is the file that is created automatically using the HRIS sync process. Whenever you hire an employee on the front end, how is that employee related record created here? Any new Employee Central user you hire in the front end, here in this file, one line item will be created automatically for that Employee Central hiring. So how is that created is this sync program. It will extract from different portlets and place a record here. So this file, looking at this file, the talent modules will be functioning. The talent modules will have that file as a source. So these are the various fields. Only few fields are listed. The basic fields, whatever the basic profile. If you see this, the basic profile information. That is nothing but the basic import file related fields. Okay.
Are we uploading the data through this file, or we are downloading this UDF file?
You're not going to do anything. You have Employee Central and you are having talent modules. You need not manually handle this file. From Employee Central, these records are already done in this loaded into this file, and that is already in the system itself. You need not separately download also. This file is created internally, and that file is automatically used as a source for the talent modules. You need not manually upload, import anything here. Okay. And if you don't have Employee Central, then this is the main file that will become the source for the talent modules we will be creating. That is what we saw in the initial days. If you don't have Employee Central and if you want to run some talent solutions, this file you are manually creating. But you have Employee Central, you will not create it at all. So system, that HRIS sync program will create it, and it will be in the background internally in the system itself. It will automatically be the feed for the talent solutions. If you want to download and see, you can download and see what is the source that is becoming the feed for the talent modules today. You can just download and see it, but that is already in the system. You need not every day extract, import anything. Okay, so that is how this HRIS sync as a program that will help us to have employee central data in line with the talent modules. So when I say in line, what is all this is taking responsibility is new hires, a new record to be created into the system, existing employee got terminated, here it will update the status as inactive for the existing users in the UDF file. And for the existing users, any job titles changed, if they are promoted to a new designation, what is their latest designation, if any change in email ID, their manager, HR, any changes, all that will be synchronized here, where here only the latest record will be there. For that employee, who is the latest, what is the latest designation, what is the latest manager ID, HR ID, whatever, as on date after the changes made in Employee Central, what is the latest information, only that will flow into this, because talent modules require only the latest information. Okay, so for this program we are required to schedule it in the backend provisioning system, guys. So let me quickly log into the provisioning and show you the place where it is. Yeah, so this is our provisioning system. Let's go into the provisioning. And we already know last time for EC alerts and notification we went there. It is job scheduler. So here you have it, managing job scheduler. The first one, manage scheduled jobs. If we just go for this, here the small hyperlink we have in the name of create new job, same thing that we used last time. Just click on it. When you click on it, the job creation window will open up with similar fields what we saw last time, the name of the job, the owner of the job, what job you want to schedule and all. So here HRIS, so this is a one, HRIS sync. So this is the one that you are required to schedule it. Just select that, and when you select it, screen will be loaded with few selections. So it's all default selected, do not touch anything here, which says the contact information portlet, personal information, salary, biographic, all these are the areas that will be synchronized is what it says. That's it. Let everything be synchronized. So which is all already selected, leave it as it is, do not touch anything. Just choose the type of your job, give the name, owner, all that, and at the bottom synchronization. I mean the recurring configuration. So I want it to be executed every day in the system. So daily once or twice or thrice, it's up to you. You know that we can select multiple time slots. We can do that like this. Giving the start date is nothing but the go live date. End date you can leave it blank. Any additional email IDs, all the stuff is the same. Same like the last time EC alerts and notification. How did we configure? The only thing is, instead of EC alerts and notification, we are choosing HRIS sync as a job type. So where last time we have chosen is EC alerts and notification, this one. Except the job type selection, rest all is the same, giving these first two parameters, name and owner, and bottom the occurrence details, everything is the same. Okay. So that will be the last responsibility of a employee central consultant of in the standard employee central sequence of implementation steps. So that will be the last responsibility of EC consultant. After all these things, data uploads, RVP settings, provisioning settings, everything done, workflows, whatever configurations, finally to make sure that the sync data is in sync, this is also to be activated. You have talent modules or you don't have talent modules, that doesn't make any difference. You are required to keep it scheduled, guys. So today I'm only implementing Employee Central. I don't implement EC PMGM, PMGM recruitment, all that. So I don't think like that. So this has to be kept every time scheduled in an Employee Central project. So whenever later customer is going to activate the other modules and use, the data should be ready for that modules. Okay. So this is all. And on top of this is where we will have position management as a other component, guys. So till here, this is a standard EC implementation. A standard core EC implementation process will happen with all this. And along with this, we have position management as another component. So where 90% of your projects in the real time will happen EC with position management included. Okay, but we have an option to implement EC with position management or without position management. So till now, what we saw is without position management you can treat, because we did not stress anywhere particularly about position. Only while hiring, you are just choosing a field called the employee belongs to which position. If you say there is no position management, that selection of position at the hiring will not happen. You are required to just type the employee job title. He is a senior manager, HR, executive president, finance, whatever is the job title is what you just type it there. You don't have a position as a record in the system. Okay, but the advantages of having position management is that you will have a clarity of how many positions your company actually has, how many employment your company can actually give. So example, there are 900 positions in your company, current headcount is 850. You can understand that 50 positions are vacant. Okay, you can still provide 50 more jobs in your company. Okay, so that is one headcount reporting and all position wise you'll get it. You'll get a position planning. So you want to create a demand for 50 more positions. You have got a new project, you need more workforce, so 50 more new positions to be open. So you can have that position planning done. For that positions, you can have budgeting and all. If you have workforce planning as another module, the position budgeting and all can be configured. And having position management integrated with recruiting management module, say whenever there is a position called executive analyst, something as a position. So if that is a vacancy, whenever you're creating a job requirement, you are required to give a lot of details like what is the experience level expected for this job, what is the location of this job, department of this job, business unit of this job, like this various details about a position. So instead of you filling all these details whenever you are creating a new job requirement, you will capture all the details at a position level already. For a position, some XYZ position, whatever you create, each and every minute detail of information will be captured at a position level. So tomorrow when you are creating a job requirement against that position, system will automatically pull in all the fields from the job information. From the position object. So from the position, when whatever position you are creating a new job requirement, system will automatically pull all the details. This position belongs to IT department. This position belongs to Mumbai location. This position has a pay grade of this particular pay grade. All the details what are already stored in the position object will be auto retrieved into recruiting module. That's an advantage there. Similarly, succession planning module. So like that, compensation module into multiple modules, positions will have their integration and its benefits served in the respective modules. So to enjoy all the features connected in all the talent modules, they recommend definitely to use position management. Okay, so to work on positions, first to create positions and all, so right from CEO level till the bottom worker level, you will be having multiple positions. So position in success factors is also one of the foundation of one of the MDF object guys. It's an MDF, so you can just access it from manage data. Just go for manage data, you'll be able to access positions data. So here under manage positions, you can, if you search for positions, first object position, the various list of positions that are created in the system, analyst as a position, account executive as a position, like this different positions are all created in the success factor system. A lot of examples, actually everything is present. So any position, say production director as a position, if I take, it's not just about a label, gentlemen. Production director as a position is just not a label or a position number. You have a lot of details about a position in the success factor system that will actually capture. So code, the name is common. So every department you create, division you create, location you create, anything, the code and name is common in any for any object. Same way here, position also, position code and position title are definitely there. Apart from that, the start date of the position, that is from which date is this position applicable in your business. Your business might have started in 1985. This might be 35 years. Okay, but this position has just started in 2017. Before 2017, you did not have a position called production director in your company. Now your company is growing. The production department is a director level person now you have. So like that, this position started from 2017. Like this, you can have different things recorded. And under which company is this position? It is under Ireland, Western Ireland. Under which line of business? Products line of business. Under manufacturing division. Under production department. Like this. Location of this position is Dublin, the capital city of Ireland. Like this, you have multiple things. The pay grade. This position belongs to salary grade 8. And this is a director level job. So every job we can have a level, guys. Is this a director level job or a president level, or it's a engineer level, manager, general manager? What level is this position? We can have it. Director level of job. And what is this FTE? FTE is nothing but full-time employee. In this position, how many full-time employees can we fit in? That is one full-time employee. So example, you need 10 drivers, guys. In a company, if you need 10 drivers, in success factors, you can create one position called driver and you can keep the FTE as 10. That means with the same position, you can have 10 people hired. With driver as a position, you can have 10 people hired actually. FTE as 10. That is possible in success factors. But whenever we are implementing success factors along with payroll systems, SAP, HCM, payroll and all, the payroll team will every time recommend to go with 1-to-1 relationship. In one position, there should be only one person hired. If you want 10 drivers, create 10 separate positions is what they say. They will not allow one to many. Success factors has the capability, but integration perspective, payroll consultants will every time have some concerns on it. Okay, so that is their responsibility to convince the customer. So finally, the practice what we use in the real time every time is one position, one employee, 1-to-1 relationship. So whenever you create a position, we recommend the customer not to go beyond 1 FTE. So create a position with 1 FTE. In this, one employee you can hire. Like one full-time employee can be hired, not more than that. So one position can be assigned to only one person. That way, you have FTE as a concept. And whether this is a regular or a contract position, and the criticality of the position. To be hired status. To be hired is whenever you create a position, you keep to be hired as yes, guys. Initially, we keep it as yes. That means it's nothing but vacancy. To be hired means it's a vacant position, vacant yes or no kind of a thing. They relabel it as to be hired. So to be hired, yes, is what we create a position initially. Tomorrow, when you hire somebody against that position, automatically the to be hired will change to no. That means it is no longer vacant. So to be hired is a status that will determine which position in the company is vacant, which is not vacant and all. Okay, so every time it is recommended whenever you create a new every time it is recommended whenever you create a new position, mark it as to be hired as yes. Whenever there is an employee joining in that position, immediately system will automatically change it to no, to be hired as no. And if that position is again becoming vacant, if the employee who is in that position is getting transferred to other position or he is leaving the company, this position will again turn to vacant and to be hired will be set to yes back again. Like, so we can automate that process, guys. How will system automatically set it as yes and no? We have some position settings. We'll look into that. So this way you can capture these many details, guys, against a position level. So using all this detailed information will help in multiple places. So in recruitment module, whenever you create a new job requirement against this position, for example, this position is vacant, and if you want to hire somebody from the market for this position, when you are creating a job requirement for this production director position, immediately the department of the job, the location of the job, the salary grade of this job, regular or temporary job, that status, all these things can be automatically pushed into the recruitment module. That is one advantage. And even employee central hiring level, if you remember, whenever we are doing hiring, as soon as we selected the employee position, while hiring the employee, if you select the position, system used to auto populate the other fields in the job information portlet. employee business unit, legal entity, division, department, all these fields, pay grade, everything used to auto-populate. So how is that happening? Is based on this position level, because you have already captured all these things. When you hire an employee against this position, obviously whatever are the attributes of the position that are now going to be the employee's attributes. If this is a position created for Dublin location, and if you are hired against that position, that means you are going to work from Dublin location. That way. Okay. So all these things will be auto-populated into the employee job information portlet as soon as you select this position on the employee hiring screen. So like this. And in succession planning module, this criticality as an indicator will be actually very useful. This position is critical or a non-critical position, we will have a drop-down values. So if I go for editable, so here currently the fixed is not assigned. Basically, this field can be a drop-down field, which will be critical or non-critical as two drop-down values. So whenever we integrate succession management with position management, succession planning module, so this critical indicator will be helpful there, so that we can actually have which positions are very critical in the company, the key positions in the company can be concentrated in the succession planning process. So like that, with multiple modules, this position data has its advantages. So you can create a position with these many details. Along with this, one important thing is you can have a higher level position, the parent position. At the ending, you have a parent position. This position reports to which position in the company? So this production director as a position will be reporting to vice president operations, VP operations, vice president operations as a position. So like that, for every position you can maintain a parent position. So position A belongs to B, position A reports to B, B reports to C, C to D. Like that, end of the day, the hierarchical structure is going to be created automatically. The position hierarchy. So CEO position has four reporting positions. Okay, like presidents. Under president positions, there are vice president positions. Under vice president, there are directors, associate directors down the line. So that hierarchy will be built based on, for every position, when you assign a parent position in the existing data, so that will relationship a parent child, that will basically establish a parent child relationship between each and every position, guys. So that will result in the org chart. If you remember, we have the normal employee data org chart, which is based on the employee reporting hierarchy. This one. Along with that, you have another tab called position org chart. So here in the normal org chart, the first tab, employee and manager relationship based, it is coming. Employee manager relationship based. So which employee has who is the reporting manager to each employee, based on that this is. Whereas position org chart is working based on the position level hierarchy. Which position reports to which position in the company? Position level. So currently now it is coming with HR administrator as a position. That is Anya Singh's position. Under Anya Singh position, there is some HR tech architect as some position, custom position somebody created. That is this position. Okay, so like that you can navigate. So to which position this HR administrator position reports to? It reports to Charles Brown's position, that is Vice President Global People Operations. So under this position there are three positions. So if you clearly see, under this position of Vice President Global Operations, Charles Brown is in position, and there are three positions expected to be. Actually, there are three positions expected to be under Charles Brown, but only there are two people hired as of now. The third position is vacant. Currently, there is nobody present in this position, called digital transformation program lead as a position. In this, there is nobody. So it says 0 by 1 FTE. This position is created with 1 FTE, that is one full-time employee is required, but there nobody hired, so it's 0 till. But for these two positions, the FTE is filled in. We need 1 FTE and there is one employee, 1 by 1 filled. So for in each every position, who is the current person, it shows like this. If you open this normal org chart, so normal org chart will every time speak about the existing active employees. The to be employees related, nothing, it doesn't speak anything. Say here, if I keep it to only direct reportees. So under Charles Brown, there are two people, Anya Singh and Tessa Walker, two active employees, direct reportees. That is these two. But that in one more vacant position related information you can't see in the normal org chart. It is only speaking about the existing active employee manager relationships. But in the position org chart, you can have a clear understanding of actually under this vice president global operations, 3 people are expected to be, out of which he is only having 2. He still need one more subordinate in his team. That clarity we will be having here. Okay. So this way you can navigate on the complete position structure in the company. Okay. And when you keep navigating like this, you can have let me just show one example. This all data is not clearly maintained. Need one example. Yes, if you see this, under CEO, there are 5 positions expected to be, but currently there are only 3 people, only 4 positions filled in with these 4 different people. One more position is vacant. So whenever that position is vacant, you will get this kind of an indicator called to be hired. So whenever in the position object level for this position called head of stores, if the to be hired field is set to yes, this indicator will come here on the front end, guys. So if you go for this, click on this position here in the position details, you go for so here if you see the position details head of stores, here to be hired status is set to yes. If it is set to yes, that means this position is vacant. Then this to be hired indicator will come here on the front end. So to identify which positions are currently vacant, this is also one more thing to be hired. It will be showing, whereby just clicking on it, you can be able to start creating a new job requisition in the recruitment module. Here by clicking on this menu options, you get this last option called create job requisition. That is nothing but create a new job requirement to fill this person in this position like that. So this to be hired as an indicator will actually easily be helping us to identify vacant positions and start doing the hiring process. Excuse me. So this way we have this position org chart completely gets established automatically based on in the position object. Whenever you create a position, for every position you maintain this parent position as a one more field. So that will indirectly create this employee, parent child relationship against each and every position, and that hierarchy gets built up. Okay. And in the position, so here if you have all these fields, guys, so if a customer is asking no, I don't want these many fields, remove these pay ranges, job levels, some fields I don't want. So where can we handle these changes? If I don't want some fields, or if I want to relabel a field, make a field mandatory, or add some custom fields, where can I handle this on this position object? Anyone? Anybody?
Org pay and job structure.
Why so? I also want the reason.
It talks about structure.
Sorry?
Is it right? Org pay and job structure.
No, if you say that, I need what make you say that. You should not give an answer as a fluke. You should have your reasoning when you.
It's a foundation object, right, Suresh? So it will be in manage or pay and job structure.
Okay, position is a foundation object. That's good. But what foundation? Is that a or legacy foundation or MDF foundation?
It's
In which handling it? Manage data. In manage data, if I'm accessing this object, will this be a legacy one or it's a MDF one?
MDF one.
MDF
MDF.
one.
So MDF objects related definitions, where do I get? Should I go for manage org job?
Manage data.
Yeah, manage data is the screen I'm working on. I'm speaking about the definition. In this screen, if I want to make any.
Configure objective.
Exactly. That is how your reasoning should be, guys. Suresh is showing a screen position on the manage data. He's asking me to add a field or make a field label, change anything. So object what is being handled under manage data is MDF object. So MDF related screen definition, object definition. That is how your back engineering should be. configure object definitions. So here, same like in the division of divisions, departments, business units, for anything, the way you are getting the object definitions. So here you will get the object definition of position object as well. Position is also one more MDF object. So you call it as foundation or not foundation, that's not a matter. End of the day, it is an MDF object. So any MDF will be found under configure object definition. And so on the position data screen, what all fields, like around 40 fields, whatever you're seeing, everything is coming from this configure object definition position object under field section. So all these fields are appearing on the front end. So anything customer may ask you to make any changes, go to the right hand top corner, make correction. If any fields to be removed from the screen or new fields to be added, anything, you can do a work out here. So go to the details of any field. If you don't want a field, mark the visibility as completely not visible. Or if you want to change the mandatory, non-mandatory conditions, required field label changes here, length of the field changes, where here the length of the should be there here, the length of the field, masking of data, somewhere here, masking related attribute. So all these things you can update here. Even reordering of the fields using arrows. A custom field to be added, go to the extreme bottom, and here you can start adding. So minimum pay, maximum pay, some of them has added 2 custom fields. You add one more. So up to 70 custom fields it will allow. Keep on adding. So custom field 1, custom field 2 are added already. Everything can be done on this page. So that is the front end of position management. On managed data, you get this. Whereas, as I told you, position management can be implemented with Employee Central or without Employee Central. They say customer is not having Employee Central at all, but they want to implement position management for recruiting module, for succession module, for other modules sake they want to implement position management. They don't have EC here at all. Even that can be done. In that case, you need not come to manage data and access. For positions, they have dedicatedly given one action called manage positions. Only positions you will find in this. All the other objects like divisions, departments, all that you will not find here in this drop down. Only positions you will find. So go for position, manage positions. So here you will find only the position object. Just select this, and here all the data, list of positions, whatever you see in manage data, that is all available. The UI, left hand side searching, on the right hand side creation of new position, it's all the same. But accessibility is only limited to position related couple of objects. That's it. Other objects, none of them, divisions, departments, etc., whatever is not here in this page. Dedicatedly for positions. Like that. So if you start creating a new position, the entire thing will come in a editable mode. You have to fill all these fields and save it. Okay, that is one. And then in the position object, to discuss few more in the details here. So every position level, guys, when you just click on it, you have some benefits. So when you click on this, at minimum basic details, the code of the position, title of the position, division, department, location, the very basic fields will be displayed. Okay, and it will display this position is fully staffed or not. That is, the demand is created for one full-time employee and one full-time employee is hired in this position or not, you can see. Say example, you created for one position, but that position is served by 2 part-time employees. First half one person is working, second half other person is working, 4 hours, 4 hours. So then you will say position is fully staffed, 1 by 1 FTE, but actually there are multiple incumbents. Position does not allow multiple incumbents, it says, where it says position will allow only one person in this position. But if you want, you can also have multiple incumbents. That is, in one position you can have multiple people served, 0.5, 0.5, or partial 2 part-time employees. In that case, in the position object, we will keep this mass position as yes. Mass position, if you mark it to yes, you create position with only 1 FTE. It's one full-time employee, that is 8 hours, but that 8 hours is being served by 2 people, partially 4 hours, 4 hours. That is mass position, you can mark it to yes. But where payroll team will never accept us. They'll say that give one position to one person only. In one position there should not be two people. Okay, so then we'll constantly say mass position as no. So we to make sure the integration dependencies are also met, we recommend you to go with one-to-one relationship, one position, one FTE only. So FTE as one, mass position is also no. So it will not allow more than one person. So one person whom you are going to hire, it should be full-time only. You can't serve two part-timers kind of thing. Okay, so that way we can have where it is. Yeah, so here the detail also will be shown. Position is fully staffed or not, whether it will allow multiple incumbents or not, some information, and position history. So when is this position created, when are some changes made in this position, all that. So position is actually created in 1st of Jan 1990. Then 30th of Jan 1990 there was some last change made. Within 30 days there is some change made. So like that it is recorded. Every change history is shown here. Position hierarchy details. So for this position, how many positions are above this position, how many are below this position, all that. It says that 5 positions are directly below this. Yes, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of which one position status is to be hired. Yes, this position is vacant. This position is to be hired vacant. And the remaining 4 positions are filled with 4 incumbents. Incumbent is nothing but the person who is currently occupying in that position. We will be calling it as an incumbent. So 4 people are serving in all the 4 positions. That is 4 incumbents below this hierarchy details. That way. And then current incumbent detail. That is in this position who is currently serving. So that is the CEO as a position. Mr. Mohan Kumar is serving this position. And he is assigned to this position on September 18th, 2008. So since 12 years, 6 months, he is serving in that position. Like that. All this clean information will be available when you are having this position management. Complete history can be tracked. Not only say example, now it's only one person serving in this position since 12 years. Say example, if this is a regular position and if people are changing every 4 years, somebody is coming, somebody is leaving the organization. So if this position got created in the year of 2008, in last 12 years, how many people served in this position, everything will be shown here. System can show everything in this pop-up. Okay, so from period of 2008 to 2010, Mr. Suresh has hired, Mr. Suresh served in it. From 2010 to 2013, 3 years, now Mr. Naresh has served in it. All the detail it will show you. In that position, how many people changed, every history will be here. Like that. Okay, so this way, you can have position management level, a lot of benefits. For top management, it will be easy to access the complete hierarchy of positions which are vacant, which are hired. Okay, and the position details, hierarchy details, everything, they can have a clarity, guys. And this position navigation, whatever you expand and keep it, you can even get it downloaded. Same like the employee org chart. This position org chart can also be downloaded as a PDF or image copies. Okay, and now whenever we want to create a new position, okay, say now I want to start with positions. I want to create a position, CEO position, director, presidents, vice presidents, multiple positions. So obviously I can go for either manage data or through manage positions. Here on the right hand side, I have create new position and I can start creating a new position. So when I start creating a new position, every position we need a position number, guys. The position code has to be assigned. So position code, where this we can automate. Say positions are something that keeps on creating. Whenever the company is expanding, company's business is expanding, the company's business is growing, they need more people to be hired, new positions they keep on creating. Okay, so when they are creating a new position, they can't remember what is the last position and giving the next position number and all is not that easy. So we need to have auto generation of the position sequence. Okay, last position is 30,000 30,105. Now this is 30,106, 30,107. Like that, that sequence has to be automated. So that is what now we are going to look at using the business rules concept. How can the numbers auto generation can happen? And this setup, what we are now going to look at, will be the same that will be applicable for even when it comes to departments, divisions, cost centers, business units, whatever you create, for all the objects, that is the same process you can follow to automate it. But we did not specifically discuss that thing when we are speaking about business units, divisions, departments, because in real time you will not get that requirement of having departments, all that creation by user side. So departments, all these never keep on changing. The company structure once established, the locations, departments, all these will be constant. Positions is what that keep on creating every now and then, but the company structure doesn't keep on changing. Okay, but if we want, we can also keep that also automated. So customer, say example, after 5 years or 10 years, sometime if there is a new location company starting, new department they are expanding, they can do it themselves. Okay, so whatever process now I show you for this, similar one can be even adapted for the other objects like departments, divisions, business units, anything. So here, when you want that position code to be auto generated, guys, so we'll have a business rule so that we fill all the fields, mandatory fields here, and just go to the bottom and click on save on the right hand bottom corner. So clicking on save is where there will be a rule that will be triggered. So that rule will have the logic of assigning the next number in the sequence. So last whatever is the number that is already done, that the next number after that +1 can be given here. So for that thing, we need to first have the sequence ready. So whatever sequence customer wants to follow for the position IDs in their company, we need to define one position sequence number. Say example, in their old existing HR system, if the customer is already having some positions there and they are already following some sequence, whatever is their last position already created in that old system, the next number is what we will keep as a starting number in the success factors if they want to follow the same sequence. Or else in SF, if we are going to change, even then, so now as per the part of go live, if they are going to share as 1000 positions, 1001 is the next position that will start in SF. Like that we can maintain. So where can I configure that number sequences? Is that we have an object. So we have an MDF object called, in the managed data you can find it, a MDF object called sequence. Object name itself is sequence. So normally for the people of SAP HCM background, in SAP HCM we used to call it as number ranges, but in SF we don't call it as ranges, we call it as sequences. So we just use the keyword as sequence, you will find it, sequence. Where, so you have multiple sequence. So there is for position code generation, there is one sequence. So set position external code as the code of the object. The name as set position external code, again the same thing, the code and name of the object, and the starting number is 30,924. 30,924 is the position sequence number. So whenever a new position is going to be created in success factors in this system, it starts from 924. And first number is 924, next number is step. So increment go by 1. So 925, 926, 927, like that. Already from 924 to 1049 positions to 1048 positions are created. The next position to be created that is waiting is 1049. From 924 to 1048, that is almost 124 positions are already created. 124 positions are already created with this position sequence. 924, 925, 926, like that. 30 lakhs 924, 30 lakhs 925, 926, all that. And this is step is given as 1 to increment 1. But if a customer has a requirement of going with the increment of 2, that is 924, 926, 28, 30, 32, 34, even numbers, we can even do that. So whatever step number you give, it will increment as per that. If you want to go with the increment of 5, so 5, 924, after 924 it goes 929, 934, 39, 44, 49, like that in increment of 5 it will go. So SF has given this option whether you want to go with the individual sequence or it's or odd numbers or even numbers, whatever the way you can choose your option. But we don't have an ending number in success factor sequence object. It only gives you the starting object and that incrementing parameter. That's it, the starting number. It keeps on going. There is no end value. Okay. So that is how SF designed its sequence object. So now for position numbers, so they have given one starting number and an increment of 1, and it is keep on going. Already 1048 is the last position created. The next position what we create will take this 1049 as a number. So the next number will be marked as the current number here, guys. So this sequence object is what we are required to be ready with. That is one thing. That is one prerequisite. So here on the right hand side you have this create new sequence. You want to create a new sequence, you just have to give some name for your sequence object and starting number, step number, you can do it. So current is where whenever a new position is created, system will automatically update the current value like that. And for sequence also, guys, they have again given a dedicated option called manage sequence. The way you have for positions as a dedicated one as manage your position, manage sequence also a dedicated action has been given. So if you go for manage sequence, the name still appears as manage data. This is actually an issue. SF is yet to update, but in this drop down you will see only sequence object. When you go for manage sequence, only sequence objects will be accessible. So dedicated action for a dedicated action navigation for sequences also has also been given like this. Okay, and whenever we are auto generating a position code, guys, we don't want users to enter anything in it. So first thing is we are required to make that field read only, completely blank. And when you mark it read only, to make users understand that system will automatically generate it, we can have some default value as automatic here, so that users will understand, okay, this field is going to be automatically generated. So that's why it's read only. So first of all, making it as defaulted with automatic and marking it as read only, both are to be done. So for that, in the object definition of position, the code field, here this code field is what? You can go to the details of it and you have a default value as an attribute, or type it as automatic. So it will display on the front end as automatic first thing, and second thing, the visibility is kept to read only. They are required to mark it as, so that nobody can see this field as editable. It will be in read only mode with the label as automatic. Okay.
Suresh,
So
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
While we were assigning the sequence, we use the external code as cust underscore for position. I mean, is there any place we are assigning that code to the position so that it's picking that sequence, because there might be multiple?
Yeah, that is what the business rule concept we are here to look at. So that is prerequisite is to have your sequence object ready. First create your object, and in the object definition level mark this field as read only, set it to automatic, all that. Once these two prerequisites are done, third thing is to now start writing the logic. Whenever you fill remaining fields and click on save, clicking on save, a rule has to be triggered now, a business rule that will have internally the logic to bring the latest number from the sequence object. So how will system know that this sequence object to be called is what in the business rule we are calling this object. Okay. Excuse me. So the next step will be to write a business rule, guys. So just the prerequisites is what I want to show you now. So business rule will take some time. We'll look it into the tomorrow session. So this setting this code field to automatic with the default text and keeping it as read only is one thing, and being ready with your sequence object is one more thing. So in the tomorrow's session we'll continue with how to create a rule, so how that rule creation function looks like, and where should we assign that rule to the position object. All that will continue in the tomorrow session. Any questions?
Yes, Suresh, Rupa here.
Yeah, please.
You mentioned that clients can go for employee central implementation with position management or without position management, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So suppose a client has gone for employee central without position management, and after a year they want to implement succession whatever model. So now
Okay.
they need position management for it.
It's not mandatory. Even succession planning module you can go without position management. Even recruitment you can go without position management. The only thing is automations will be not there. You are every time required to create everything in detail. Say in a recruitment module, you want to create a job requirement for anything, so any position, you are required to do it against a plain field job title. You enter that there is a position called production director is a job title you enter. So in which location is this job, in which department is this job, what is salary grade, all required to manually fill in. If you have
Okay.
management, you already recorded everything here in the position object. Now against this position, if you are going to create a requirement, all these details will auto flow into the recruitment. That automations and all you're missing actually.
Acha, acha. So it is not necessary to go for position every time.
Not mandatory. Recruitment without position management, succession without position management can also be implemented, but the actual flavor of those modules you will be losing. Okay, the actual flavors will be there if you actually have position management. So in a recruitment module, to see how many positions are vacant, how many are filled in, okay, how many are yet to be filled in, that tracking and all is what the main flavor of that module. If you don't have the tracking, you just have a list of these are the open requisitions I have. Okay, apart from this, if there are any other open positions, I don't have a clarity. My head of the department in the company asked me to do the recruiting for this position. I am doing. That's it. You don't have a proper audit data of how many are vacant, how many are yet to be filled in. No audit is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So there are very few companies in the market, guys. They specifically say I don't want position management. Recently, I even saw one customer in Bangalore where they say in our company we don't use a concept of position. Even CEO is a title for us. That's it. Don't bring in positions in our concept is in our company is what they say. So then they go everything manually. Even while you're hiring an employee in the hiring, you don't enter position. You'll just enter job title for them. In the job information portal, just job title is what they want. Okay. Fine, guys. So this is all. There we'll continue the remaining part of position management tomorrow. We most probably will be finishing it off tomorrow. And tomorrow after this position management discussion, if we are able to complete in the session time, I'll also show you about certification. So how to go for certification, exam preparation, or even in the exam of EC certification, what all topics will be covered, some information on that area also. I'll be showing you some light today, light tomorrow. Okay, any others? Fine, gentlemen. So let's all connect back same time tomorrow. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Suresh.
Thank you, guys.